Right, today we're going to be showing you how to clean the group head of the coffee machine. It's something that really needs doing because you get loads of burnt oils and old coffee grinds get trapped underneath the shower screen there, and it really does make your coffee taste pants. So I'm going to show you two ways how to do it. Because not all machines have got this overflow pipe at the bottom to use the blanking disc. So I'm just going to unscrew it and clean it out under the sink. I've deliberately left this for a day without cleaning it just to show you how bad it gets. Just making a handful of coffees, 4 or 5 coffees in one day. Now this screw's pretty easy to take out, and then the shower screen and the brass plate comes out with it. I'll just show you the state that it gets into, if you can see this. First of all I'm going to do is scrub it underneath the sink. Right, that's just with just water and a group head cleaning brush. You can see all the horrible grinds and the oil have gone now. So we're just going to screw this back into the machine. Just be careful not to tighten it up too tight, so you don't want to strip the thread of the screw. There we go, it's as easy as that. Some people with the smaller coffee machines without this pipe can only clean the group head doing that, but too many people just don't bother cleaning it and they just give up on the coffee machines after a while because the coffee tastes horrible. So let's get started the other way and turn the coffee machine on. Now we're just going to clip this blanking disc into the portafilter holder. Most people who have one of these more expensive machines have got one of these. It's just the basket, but with just no holes in there at all. And we're going to use this stuff today, Polycat. It's pretty good at not only cleaning coffee machines, but it's brilliant for getting tea stains off of spoons and out of cups and that kind of thing. It's really good stuff. I'm just going to use a about that much, good sized teaspoonful of Polycat. Alright, just wait for the machine to warm up, so I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Well, the coffee machine's warmed up a bit now, so let's just click this into the machine. Set it on for about 20 to 30 seconds, something like that. little while you'll start to see the pulley cuff froth up, and it will come down this tube here. Then you'll see it will start to foam out of this bottom nozzle. Then you'll see the colour of it. Even though I've cleaned the group head with the brush and just some water, you'll still see some discoloration of foam coming out of here. Let's take this off so we can see better. Right, after the first time you do your 20-30 seconds, leave it for about the same length of time, and then do it again. The stuff's starting to come through now a little bit. There's a little bit in the water. It takes a couple of minutes for it to start frothing up and work its way down. But that state of the group head you saw at the beginning, that was just off making coffees for me and the missus, like just a couple of coffees each. So you can imagine a high volume cafe that doesn't do this, the state that this is going to be in. Which is why most of the time your coffee tastes not very nice when you pay £2 a cup or more. Usually after you've done this 2 or 3 times, you'll start to see the stuff just oozing out like toothpaste or something like that out of this nozzle here. It's just starting to come through properly. You can see it just dripping through now. can also use this stuff for soaking your filter holders, your baskets and anything else that you might want to, your spoons, you know, anything like that. You just put a couple of tablespoons in a litre of water bowl and then just leave them in there for about 20 minutes and they'll just come up as clean as new, really. You know, your shot jugs and other coffee related paraphernalia. You can see how it's beginning to froth up well and just make its way out the bottom there. And when you turn this off, you get a spray come out, and it was pretty brown tinge to it really, so you can see how dirty these things get. Well, I'm waiting for that to settle for a second. I'm just going to get some cups ready, because it says here, enjoy your espresso, so I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to clean this out and make a nice latte. Do you want a latte? I might as well keep the camera rolling and show you how to make a nice latte. How to get your machine set up with your grinder and the correct weight of beans and all that type of thing. It's really important when you're making coffee, because it's like making tea. You know, you need to soak your tea bag for a certain length of time. You know, it's the same with coffee. You need to brew it properly. Shut that, else I'm bound to bang my head on it. I think it says on this to use it about 5 times when you do this. Repeat the operation for 5 times. Start for 10 seconds and stop for 10 seconds. But I found that just to be pretty inadequate really, and I usually do it between 5 and 10 times. Because you can still see, even though this is about the 4th or 5th time now, you can still see some dirt coming out of the overflow pipe. And you can tell when it's starting to have worked its way through and used up in here, because this stops dripping out as foam, and it just becomes drips of water then, so you know that you're nearly done. Try it one more time, see what it looks like. And even if you don't use that curry powder, you should at least unscrew your shower screen and clean that up every day. And if you have that blanking disc, just backflush it with just water. Just put the disc in blank, and it's better than not doing it at all, you know. There we go, it's just coming through as water now, so I mean, if you can see in there, it's a little bit of a dirty colour to it. So we're just going to rinse this out under the tap. Then we can start flushing it with just water. Just to make sure we get the rest of the polycath. If there's any kind of in the system, it'll just flush it all through. Usually tend to do this about 3 or 4 times, just to make sure it's all clean and there's no polycath left in. And every time I'll take this out and give it a rinse out under the tap. Just once more and that should be enough. Now you might as well do this while you're waiting for your machine to prime up before you start doing your coffee anyway. Because you know, you should really leave your machine about 20 minutes before you... I mean, that's getting red hot now. So it just gets everything nicely up to temperature before you start pulling shots. There we go, that's just water. You can see it's not very clear if you can see that, but there's a little bit of brown in there. It's not very clean. Bit tray rinse out under the sink and good to go. Just purge the group head with just some fresh water. And you can really see the difference in the jets of water that come out of there after you've used this stuff. It really does clean it up nicely. Crystal clear. So let's swap the baskets over. I'm going to be using an 18 gram basket because the cups are a fair old size. I'll grab my coffee, I'll be back in a minute. I've come up with a really nice coffee. I roast my own artisan coffee. And I've got this Brazilian and Colombian blend which is really nice. It's like hazelnuts and chocolate, like a whole nut in a cup, especially with a milky drink. So we're going to weigh out the beans. I ain't telling you my secret. You can buy some if you want. It's on sale on eBay. Look for Espresso coffee. Or just send me a message through YouTube if you want to buy some. I see a lot of things on the internet about modifying these Mazda grinders, but I think it's a waste of time. People make these schnozzle things and bits and pieces that fit in the bottom because they lose too much coffee, but if you do it properly like I'm about to show you, whatever you put in there you're going to get it back out again. Yeah, you might need to brush it a bit to get the coffee out, but it's just a few seconds with a brush, you know what I mean. Basket's nice and warm. We're going to dry it out with a towel. I think the reason people think they need these schnozzle things is because they go in cafes and they see the barista thwacking this thing, you know. But there's really no need to do that. So we're just brushing all the bits of coffee that are still up in the top bit there, just to finish grinding. You can hear it just grinding a few little beans there. Just wait for the whole thing to stop, get your brush in there, brush it out. If you went to do this you'd probably lose a gram or more of coffee. Just a little paintbrush is just good enough for doing this. As you can see, we're dispensing the coffee into the basket there, and apart from this tiny bit which I've just spilt with my finger, you can see it's not really going all over the place, is it? When you get to the end of it, yeah, give it a good thwacking, because you've only got little bits of grinds left in there. Just get the last few bits out. But as long as you're just gentle with this, you'll have no problem. Just leveling it off with my finger just before I tamp it. And just make sure you get your tamper square before you press it down. And there you go. This is one of these calibrated tampers, so it gets you just the right amount of pressure every time you do it. It just saves a lot of variation in coffee. If your tamp's the same every time and your grind's the same every time, in theory you should have the same amount of coffee every time. That's some milk. My girlfriend drinks this soya. It can be hard to steam if you don't use it, the L Pro. Sometimes you can go in a cafe and buy soya, and it will be, it'll start curdling, separating on you. So let's get the milk done. You just want to heat this up just so it's too hot to touch. You don't really need one of these fancy thermometers really. Usually when it gets too hot to touch, you're at the right temperature anyway. Make sure you clean off the milk from your nozzle straight away, because when you're trying to get dried milk off here, it can be a right pain to get off. There we go. Now let's get the coffee on. Usually look for about 20-25 seconds when you're extracting double espresso like this. That's about enough. And if you swirl the milk in the jug like this, it gives it like a silky texture. There you go. A soya latte. And now I'll show you something else. Normally people get one of these banging out boxes and they bang away at this portafilter, but there's no need for that either really. Just got an empty tub there, because in the recycling, just let gravity do the work for you. Just give it a little rinse out under the tap. Now ready to go again. Now I'm going to make one for myself, just with semi-skimmed milk. Getting a bit short on this coffee actually, and I have to grab some more. There we go, just over 18 grams. There you go, you see as I'm moving this paddle, I ain't losing any coffee here, look. And there's no bits and pieces fitted to this. There was when I had it, but it kind of disintegrated away after a while, so I just tried it without it and realised that you just don't need it. to see people in Costa, you know, when they're in these kind of places where you have a coffee and they're really giving it to you. But it's just overkill. There we go, just a few tiny specks. When you've tamped your coffee down and got it ready to go into the machine there, it's a good idea really just to give the top of this a wipe over in case you get any bits of coffee stuck to the top. Especially these lugs here, because they can just all get stuck underneath the gasket at the top there and compromise the seal. There we go, with a tasty latte. Well, thanks for watching. Be sure to come back again if you see any of my videos on YouTube, scootering videos, coffee videos, I'll do some coffee roasting videos next, I think, just to show you how easy that is as well. But thanks for watching, bye.